actually should pull it up, but I'm not gonna be distracted.
Oh, you're not.
Who's rocking right now?
Philly's killing
I'm not
right
watching.
now. Yeah, Philly's up by 14.
Killing
Yeah, they up by 14.
second quarter.
First quarter still. Yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
they're by 14 in the first. It's fine.
That's fine, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's manageable. Like the Hawks could potentially come back from that.
One at home. They already stole one at home, bro. That's a big thing.
They did steal one.
We'll see what happens. And Tobias Harris is actually going crazy right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, as the series progresses,
we'll see what happens.
I don't know if Atlanta's gonna have the nerve to like execute consistently.
What is that?
As
definitely.
Like that first game,
but
it was hyped up, and I feel like that might wear off.
I mean, Trae Young was going stupid. Joel didn't do anything.
Sixers have like a nice half court game.
Right. They have
like that the Bucks seriously lack. Man, Giannis gets exposed, man. He's being exposed.
Is Giannis getting exposed, or more so the coach and like Middleton that they gave $30 million to?
I mean, I just feel like Giannis, he's in a playoff series, he's easier to stop because, like, he can't really, he doesn't got like quite the dribble moves. He doesn't have a shot. Like, so in a half court set, it's a lot harder for him to score. Like, most of his points come when he's like sprinting down the floor because his legs are longer than everybody else and he just dunks on him and puts it up. Like,
but do you think it's harder for him to score because, one, the coach isn't drawing up a play to like put him in the best position to score? Like, he's operating most of the time from the top of the key when he needs to be operating from the block. And then two, there's no other player on the team that's drawing attention away from him so that he has more open looks and opportunities. Like, everybody else on the team, you can play one-on-one. Like, you don't have to double anybody on the Bucks, no matter how hot they get.
True, but I mean, I can see that. But I mean, like, I feel like Middleton, like, yeah, maybe he's not the best, but he can hit that shot if he's open. Like, it's not like he can't, like, he was solid. Like, he averaged like 25 and 5 or something during the regular season.
Yeah, but he started out like 1 for 9 yesterday.
Yeah, that's his problem. He's very streaky.
Exactly. He's very streaky. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do anything. He plays terrible defense, awful defense, and can't facilitate.
And then also they are playing the Nets, so like here.
Who's guarding KD? Who's guarding KD? That's all I care about at this point. Because it's like if you're not having Giannis or Middleton guarding KD, like
Middleton,
why do you even pay for these players? You can't guard KD. But Giannis can't guard KD either. Giannis can't guard KD either. I think where did they put him? PJ Tucker? Was he being put on KD yesterday? I wasn't watching that game.
Yeah, he's been put on KD a little bit, and he got some. He stripped the ball from KD twice.
Yeah, I mean he's a solid defender, but it's just Kevin Durant.
Right. No, so they just got to.
It's bad.
They got to be able to match the Nets.
But I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't. Like, there's times where like Milwaukee could put up like a crazy amount of threes in a game, which they can do. Like, they have shooters that they put around Giannis for a reason. The team is built up the way it is for a reason, because it literally allows the complementary players for Giannis to get the fuck up out of the way so Giannis can do what he has to do, theoretically. But is it going to happen against this Nets team where they're going to, like you said, like they're going to have to score more points? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's all bad for the Bucks, and Giannis needs to request a trade to some other team.
Yeah, they just need to surround him with shooters. He'll be straight.
Nah, they need to surround him. They need to put him like with somebody who's really like consistent for one, like in terms of scoring, just like maybe not even shooting, just production. Just a consistent producer for one, and then like also. I feel like the coach got to be better. The coach is not really running any plays for him. It's really just pick and roll, drive and kick.
But do you think
I
is
mean, like
Giannis
what else?
skilled enough
Like,
to run plays to
yeah,
get him open, or outside
like
of
they
that?
do find him in the post. Like he does post up. Like and just they did another. They just come and double him, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
He needs to be able to like. He needs to be able to get his own shot.
If they're,
He
I'm just saying, if they double him, that means that's a crack in the defense, that somebody's open.
yeah.
So they got to take advantage of that. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Bucks currently up down 1-0
Down
to the
2.
Brooklyn Nets. So
They're down 2.
2-0? Am I
Yeah,
tripping?
yeah, bro. They got
They've
smacked
already
twice.
knocked them down twice.
They got smacked.
Yeah, they're gonna get swept. Like I feel like
God damn.
Brooklyn is just about to
Oh,
but
well, it was good knowing them, bro.
yeah.
It was good knowing them.
Yeah, next year, bro.
Yeah, I don't think the Hawks gonna make it past the Sixers, but we'll see. They had a good first game. But yeah, let's get to the podcast. Yo, this is the Mostly Bullshit podcast.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Solomon.
Shelly, and yeah, this is the catch-up discussions between 3 ex-college roommates. We talk about the current events, topics of the world. We go into detail about their nuances and how important they are and what their implications are. But really, we're just mostly bullshitting. So every week we start off with Mike. Mike, what's your topic this week?
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk about the current education system. I've been seeing a lot of posts on Instagram and Twitter talking about how our current education system is a bit outdated. It was more designed during factory worker times where we're just taught to learn instructions and follow them and then proceed to go on to work the standard 9 to 5 life. Some people proceed on to college and pursue the higher education, but not everyone does that. So I just kind of wanted to get your guys' feel on our education system, just kind of K through 12, and then touch on if going to college is worth it to kind of start your adult life.
So for me personally, yeah, I can start this. For me personally, I think the K through 12 system is very outdated. With the way that the workforce has kind of evolved over the past half a century, we should have changed the school system dramatically to reflect what we see in the workforce. I think it's a little bit more prevalent nowadays because they are so intent on keeping it as such, is that maybe they are attempting to influence children to stick to a 9 to 5 because they need all the 9 to 5 work that they can get essentially. But it is really up to the individual at this point to kind of pave your own path in terms of dictating your own future, because the system set up now is not necessarily set up or built up to give children and young adults the tools that they need to pursue their passions, essentially. These are kind of broken down into just specific subjects that aren't necessarily passion driven at all. They're just kind of fundamental things that you need past 6th grade. It's all this literacy at that point. But past that, all it is kind of knowing basic functions of algebra, geometry. There is some study of literature and art. There is some studies of specific sciences like chemistry and biology, but there isn't too much that is really that from high school specifically applicable to the growth of a young person or a young adult trying to make their way through the world. So I personally believe with students kind of transitioning straight from high school to college, there are a lot of people that don't know what they want to do. And they end up kind of going down a path where they'll feel stuck essentially. And they'll have a hard time navigating because up until you graduate college, you are given pretty much a direct path. They'll tell you, Congratulations, you graduated from the 6th grade. Congratulations, you graduated from the 8th grade. Congratulations, you graduated from high school. And congratulations, you graduated from college. After that, there are no more directions for you. I think the school system fails the students in providing them direction in terms of what they can do to equip themselves. Because if students knew what they would like, if there were things to promote like passion-driven learning, I think we would have like a lot better engagement, a lot better product that come out of it. The thing is, students are doing it in their own way now, and so it's like really like it's enlightening essentially to a lot of us that we may have just missed it, where we might be right in it in terms of that generation who are taking it into their own hands, creating their own businesses, and doing the things that essentially will help us live our lives with like passion. And so I think the school service definitely does fail in that aspect. It's yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and like listening, that was a great breakdown and explanation, Solomon. Listening to that, like I think it kind of exposed some of my bias for the school system. Just because me personally, like I always liked math and science. So those were like my favorite subjects to do. I knew I wanted to pursue a career in those topics. So like that's the whole reason I became an engineer. So for me, like I guess that direction was there because I kind of knew what I wanted to do more like a little bit earlier on. But then I'm also seeing that maybe it also has me wondering what if I pursued a different like kind of like path in life. So like a more creative, but like for me, like I've never been very creative. So like that's why like math was just easy like math and science were better for me because it was less like conceptual and more just like fact and proofs, like that. And like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, like that was like based on like logic. I think that needs to be expounded upon. I think that instead of just talking about like science and math as like what we do on paper, that needs to definitely transition to the computer.
Oh yeah,
kids need to know how to code, how to automate programs, because everything we do, the goal of a lot of these companies is to get automated, is to make it.
So I mean, if that's the case, then I would say that like the school, it successfully breeds people that are able to do that. Like maybe those people are just like they just had it in them from the beginning. But if that's the case, like I feel like school does you are able to follow a path through the school system that'll lead you to the ability to code and automate things and just like progress technology in general.
See, most of the people, like I don't know, like I wasn't aware of any like computer programming, computer science classes when I was in high school. So most of the people I knew that were into that were doing it on their own time.
Okay. Yeah, actually that does make sense. Cause like truly I probably didn't know much about coding in high school either. I just knew like, I guess that's why I became mechanical, because it was just basic, just math and theory combined together. So like that was just simple it was like a simple transition. But yeah, like I haven't considered that, some high schools do offer computer science courses though.
Right.
So like it just really depends on your district and, maybe standardizing education a little bit more across the board rather than letting it vary from state to state, like what's considered, what is considered like the topics that you need to learn versus ones that can slip through the cracks.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right. And then it's also access and exposure. I know that a lot of these kids out here, at least in the Bay Area, have access to Chromebooks now, but that's due to like various different initiatives. Like I know like some kids won that race to the top, like some schools won that race to the top program and then they were able to buy Chromebooks. Some schools, I know like Twitter donated hella money to get like laptops in the like kids' hands out in Oakland. So like, yeah, it's really just based on luck to have that exposure. Another thing too that I've noticed is that a lot of these high schools have taken out trade programs for kids. That's terrible because shit, you could
Yeah, no.
be a plumber making way more money than any of us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like for real, like I 100% agree. Like just in my industry, which is oil and gas pipelines, welders make guap. That's a trade school thing. Like you go to trade school for that. Like yeah, there's so many careers out there, like the linemen, the guys who go up and like handle the high voltage power lines, like those guys make guap. Like, and these are all like careers that, you know, you can come out of high school, take like a year or two course, and then you're qualified to do it. Like,
right. But that's the thing is like they do offer those classes in community colleges, but the advantage is that if you're getting it at high school, you're getting it for free.
Yeah.
Exposure, that experience for free. And so I think that's really invaluable, you know, to have it.
And adding on to that, I was going to say, like, with the times, like having like high school sponsored like coding boot camps essentially in schools in the form of a curriculum would also be very beneficial if that's actually the case, like having trade programs within a high school. Because at this point, what I would recommend to like the youth at this point is like hold off on college for a year or two, because at this time, like we're already in a position in an era where we live in an era where it's super expensive to just live. So it's okay to kind of start your career a little delayed, get a skill first before you go to school for higher learning. So whether it be a trade, whether it be coding, whether it is it's essentially obtaining a service like that you can provide to other people individually, without anybody else's help, would be extremely invaluable. Because if you go to school to get a degree that may not necessarily provide a service, it's a bit more abstract. There are instances where you may have to go out without a job, like essentially because you can't provide a service to somebody in the immediate, like you have to essentially sell yourself to provide a service to a broader organization. So that's kind of like I think will be the struggle kind of going down the line once we have like certain jobs kind of being removed. And a lot of those jobs that are being removed are those jobs that you kind of do get with a degree, and they're a bit more abstract in formation, essentially. So if you're essentially kind of consulting, these are jobs that can be cut if a business doesn't have the right financials for a quarter or two. And so like kind of falling back on something that you can hold, or not hold, but just within your own knowledge, to be able to do is actually very valuable to this up and coming generation. Because I think there's a push for automation, like you said. And so with that, there are going to be like fallbacks on the like employment industry. There may be a lot more like minimum wage jobs just to support the automation, and less kind of mid-tier wages that were essentially being removed as a result of automation.
Right. And I mean, I still like with college, like I always felt that college was more so about not necessarily getting a degree, but meeting people who are interested in the same things that you are. And then how can we collectively help each other out? You know. So
agreed.
So I feel like college is still cool for that aspect, but yeah, don't don't get too caught up over it, because it's not necessarily about what you're learning at the school. It's who you're meeting, and you don't necessarily have to go to college to meet people, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, I've seen people do crazy things, didn't go to college, dropped out of high school, you know. But
yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah,
real hustling.
Yeah, like for me, like I guess like, and maybe that's the way I was bred in the system, but yeah, like I definitely wanted to like have a clear path moving forward.
Right.
So like I knew like naturally the next step for me out of high school was college. And though like I feel like I did learn a lot. Like I learned a shit ton of useful knowledge in college, like in my classes as well. But yeah, like you were saying, like the relationships you can form, you then use the knowledge that you learn in class to apply to the relationships you meet with people, and then you can start businesses together. If it was more kind of like, because like there's been a couple people from my engineering class that like started their own business out of it, like, and that's fucking, it's dope as fuck. Like, so yeah, it's just really just deciding like if you were going to college to get something for like something that's going to be useful in your future, then yeah, definitely do it. But you know, it's open. Anyone can be successful without it, with or without it.
Yeah, I think all you need to have is direction with it. As long as you understand what you're going in for and with the intention of getting something out of it, you'll be okay. And yeah, I definitely don't want to dissuade anybody from like not going to college immediately after high school. That should be in the plans if you know what you're trying to do, and making a, like Brandon said, like making a network. Essentially, like networking is one of the most valuable things that we have in this day and age, in terms of like becoming like not necessarily even a worker, but an entrepreneur as well. Like we have the tools like at school to create something great with minds that think like us. And so if you have that collective mindset with like group intentions of doing the same thing, great things can really happen.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's more about direction. And so you were saying earlier, Solomon, that the school needs to provide that direction for kids. I don't think that's really on the school. I think that's more on people's parents to give that direction. Because like Mike said, like this is what he wanted to do, and he did everything that he needed to do to get to where he wanted to be. So it's not
true.
It's not like going through the college route, and it's just about having that direction. Like this is exactly what I want to do, and here's the steps to get in there. But it's really about your support system as you come up too.
Yeah, because and to piggyback off that, like yeah, like my mom was a pretty big influence on me becoming an engineer. You know, she saw that I was good at these things, and she recognized a career where I could utilize my knowledge in these two things to kind of pursue, and then like what I would, you know, want to do in the future, just what you're good at essentially.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think the only thing I'd say to that is like having programs that are available to kids, essentially, because not everybody is going to have supportive parents or parents that are present like frequently. Like we can't expect that with the entire population. That's the only reason why I say like bringing certain things that can spark the idea in the mind of a child. Because I mean, these days, I think it's actually a lot easier for a child to like find a passion or a direction because the internet is at the palm of their hand. That wasn't available to me until like, I think 10 days before I graduated from high school. I was kind of just on my laptop at home, and I got that at like the 10th grade. And I used it mostly to watch movies and shit like that. So I wasn't really taking the best of my opportunities because I didn't really like realize kind of the value. But I think these days with this new generation, I think it is actually there for you. I just think it would be beneficial. It would be beneficial to kind of provide opportunities for kids if it's not readily available to them.
Can you imagine if we had Robin Hood in high school?
Man,
I would
like they truly made it easier.
No, he's on Robin Hood. Like, he's not. Well, oh shit.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's like imagine coming up to the cafeteria and say, "Yo, I just made 2 G's last week. What you want?"
That's what I'm saying. Off your phone, not doing nothing really.
Not doing anything.
You just saw it.
That's crazy. Like what you making off of AMC?
We saw it buy this.
I mean, I still got I got 15 AMCs that I bought. I bought like way back. I've been holding this whole time.
Young diamond hand in the mix.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Yes, sir. They only got probably only do better though throughout the year as things open up, right? I don't expect the stock price to go down for any reason.
I personally
Well, I mean, right now,
do. It's like it's over. Isn't it like crazy up?
yeah, there's a short squeeze going on right now. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's way higher than it's supposed to be. Like its real price should probably be around $10. But right now, like it's a short squeeze. So essentially, I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard like what that is.
Yeah.
So like essentially like these bit rich, huh?
I'll say explain.
I didn't hear. Oh, okay. So essentially like these giant hedge funds are doing something called shorting the stock. And so when they do that, like I don't fully understand all the details, but like they are essentially they're essentially borrowing shares at a certain price. And then like if somebody runs the price up, they lose a shit ton of money. Because like they were betting that the stock would go down essentially. Yeah. But like, so like what people are doing now is they're running the stock all the way up to fuck over the people that are shorting the stock. And essentially they're going to make a shit ton of money by doing it.
Because there's so many contracts betting.
Like that's a,
yeah, because you can't, the thing
yeah,
is,
yeah, that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, there's a defined amount of shares. And so when there's a certain amount of demand for that stock will eventually rise. And so I think the theory behind short selling is you buy a share at that price and you loan it to someone, and then they pay that price, and then whenever you want to sell it or whenever somebody sells it, they'll be able to buy back that share at a lower price, making that money back because they're loaning it at that price. There are naked shorts as well.
I think that's more like what an option. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, essentially it's the inverse. Yeah. It's like betting against the stock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the only reason why AMC is way up right now. So eventually it will go back down once like the hedge funds have paid out all the money that they owe by losing their bet. And the thing is like their bet, like essentially their bet just keeps doubling down every time the price goes up, it's just exponentially getting worse for the hedge fund. So like they're going to have to pay more and more money the higher the stock goes up, essentially. But anyway, we kind of digressed a bit. But
That's cool, man. We can go on to the next topic. I wanted to bring up Naomi Osaka. She I guess decided not to play in the French Open, I believe, due to mental health concerns. I thought that was really interesting because I believe those mental health concerns stemmed from her having some type of dispute with the people who run the French Open. And there was like, it was causing her a lot of stress. I don't know the exact story about it. I gotta look it up, but like, it's interesting. I think she still got paid though.
I think to touch on like what her issue was, like I think they just wanted her to do like media interviews and stuff after her matches and stuff like that.
Right.
But she has social anxiety and she didn't want to do those interviews.
Right. And she makes
yeah. I mean,
eyes paid badly, and she's like, "Why am I like? I'm nervous. No, I'm not doing it."
I mean, I get it. I mean, if she steps on like a tennis court and like that's her zone, like I understand that she wants to perform at the highest ability on a tennis court, but like if she just truly doesn't want to answer like backwards questions from the media, like I don't blame her for that. Like,
I guess that's more of like my question is like, why do we put all these expectations on professional athletes? Like, why are we expecting them to do all this extra stuff after they perform? Like, why does that matter to people?
Yeah, to be honest, like their answers are always the same. Like they interview like LeBron after a game. LeBron, how'd you get the win? oh yeah, we held it down, we played defense, we stopped them on key possessions, blah blah blah. Like it's always the same shit. Like when they interview a coach, same shit. How do you stop this team? Oh well, we just gotta slow them down, blah blah blah. Like there's never anything that's like interesting that they say.
I can understand how it's depressing for the athlete if like you're put on the spot, and obviously everything you say and do is under a microscope. So everything you say and do when you're put on that spotlight is going to be scripted. And so you just keep doing the same script, keep answering the same questions. And it's just like, who am I appeasing? Who am I appealing to? Because like, why does my day-to-day, why does like how I think, like that isn't really, how is that going to resonate with someone else, I guess? You know what I mean? Outside of me just wanting to express myself, like this is your platform and you're sort of pulling the strings on everything. And I don't really have any control on how I want to like really express myself. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. So what I was just where I'm coming from is I think that she should be able to say what she feels in a situation like this, but the French Open has the intention to get a news story out of every single player that comes through. And with players that are more PR trained, it'll sound like what Mike kind of referenced earlier, where LeBron James just gives the same answer pretty much post-game all the time. But that is where the news stories come from, and those generate revenue for the journalists, the sports beat writers out there. And so, I mean, I understand where both parties are coming from, but it doesn't necessarily. It doesn't.
That's a trash job to be a journalist, to just talk about somebody else all day. It's like that's your main job, to just talk about somebody else all day. That's a trash job.
I can't speak for other people's passions though. I really can't. Like that's what they do, and that's what they like to do. And it's just like some people actually, yeah. No, I know, but it's weird. It's like that's part of the job. It's literally part of the organization. It's like how these like people make money. People subscribe to like The Athletic. People subscribe to like ESPN. Like there is money that comes from this, and there's payment for journalists to come into these press rooms to provide stories to give out to the people. Because commenting on just the story, like of the like actual match going on, saying like Naomi Osaka beat like random tennis player like in 2 sets. It was a hard fought, I think there was a certain point, and I actually can't speak to it because I don't know the history of sports journalism as it kind of evolved into this. But there was probably a point where people were just like, yeah, this is like really boring. I don't want to just see the stats. They want some personification to the events that happen. And that's kind of where this is coming from. What it kind of turned into, from what I see. What's up?
I said, but who said that? Is that like is that something that's common? Is this level of sports journalism, is that something that's common throughout the world? Or is that just something that's common in the United States? And is it driven by?
I think it's just worldwide sports. It's just worldwide sports driven by the entertainment, like of it all.
I think it's just it's pure money. Like, I mean, so like the NBA, like, so that means they can collect advertising dollars even after the game.
Right.
Like, so like the games last about 2 hours, and then you get plus another, 30 minutes to an hour of post-game interviews, post-game talks. Like that's more revenue for the NBA, because like all the commercials that just played got to pay the NBA. And so like it's just an additional hour of revenue. And like even though there's really not that much interesting content that comes out of it, like people are still going to watch because they want to hear their favorite sports figure talk.
But for the player, other than being like having some type of disciplinary action put against them, what, like other than the threat of that,
what's
like,
in it for them?
What's in it for them? There's no, like, they don't make any extra money by doing that. Only people that make money is the NBA, the advertising companies, and the journalists. And I think the worst thing is that they use these journalists at a high level. They use these journalists to promote certain perspectives of people that may or may not be true.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what
And like you can also just flip. I was gonna say you could also just flip it into saying like you can also promote yourself. You like, especially like in a situation where like football players are not seen or really known like that. Like this is a situation where you can kind of like talk about it in a way where people get to know you more. Name, face recognition. There's a reason why NBA players are more popular than football players because they see them on the court and they can recognize them face to face. For football players, that may not be the case, and you can potentially use these types of post-game interviews to make a name for yourself, become a bit more popular in facing.
And then like it can also contribute to the endorsements of the athlete. So that's where it like can benefit them. So like if they like say like they get a Nike sponsorship, but part of their sponsorship is for them to wear a Nike hat to the post-game interview. Like it's just little shit like that, or like Gatorade, like they'll have you fucking have a little Gator.
We have social media now. We don't need that.
But it also contributes to just like, so the companies want, of course, like a company wants to associate themselves that has already like developed like a brand of the type of person that they are, you know? Like that's how like a company may like endorse a certain player. Like they like their how they present themselves, they like their style, so like they'll endorse this specific player.
All I'm saying is that they give money to people, those advertising agencies, based upon how they perform on the field, on the court. It has nothing to like how charismatic they are. Doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, I mean, like I totally agree. I don't give a fuck either. Like I never watch post-game interviews because I know exactly what they're gonna say. Like it's just like, but some people do care.
Like into the lines, it's like a lot of it is like people just like, because it's so boring, people are reading in between the lines of these post-game interviews, and they're looking at little like twitches and things like that, and they're reading really deep. And it's getting like, it's like it makes people become weirdos just by having to participate in this, you know?
Yeah.
But there's money to be made. So I would just say to that, I would just say that it's going to continue. There is a monetary incentive for the all.
There's a monetary incentive, but it's not for the player. I mean, I guess maybe if they have some sort of sponsorship.
It is for the player. There's sponsorship.
If they have some sort of, but I don't really see players doing that anymore. Like I see players wearing whatever the hell they want to wear at post-game interviews. Like at least in the NBA, I don't know about other sports, but at least in the NBA,
LeBron wearing Adidas. You see LeBron wearing Adidas, and you see Kawhi Leonard wearing Nike.
Kawhi Leonard rocks New Balance. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do I see LeBron wearing anything other than Nike? Yeah.
Like another sports brand.
Do I see him wear?
Like, of course, he can wear like designer shit and stuff like that, but like,
yeah, he can wear designer.
He's not allowed to wear. I guarantee you, he cannot wear other brands. That's a part of his contract. Guaranteed.
I don't know about LeBron. I don't know about.
But that's the same for any athlete. Anybody like KD. Who's KD's sponsor? Nike as well.
Nike.
Yeah, KD can't wear Adidas. Harden can't wear Nike.
All that depends. So we're just assuming that, but really, at the end of the day, it just depends on what's in the contract. You can have a contract if you have the leverage to negotiate a contract where I still can wear whatever the hell I want to wear, then that's in the contract.
I think for the most part, I believe it's just like NBA events and NBA sponsored things. Like I think they can go out in like other shit. Like they can go to the club, like LeBron can go to the club with an Adidas t-shirt on, even though that's not what he would wear. I think he still could. I think that Steph can go to the club rocking Air Force One. I think he can do that. It's not like a thing. I think it's just in terms of we're speaking in the realm of like sports related things where I think it would abide. They do have to abide by these contracts and sponsorships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think these players need to get smarter and just be like, nah, fuck that. like I'm the best. I mean,
there might be a breakthrough.
So find somebody who's better than me to replace me, because that shit. Because that's what Naomi Osaka is doing. She's like, I'm not doing that shit. Find some other black chick that's better than me
to be your poster child. Like,
find somebody, because I ain't gonna get me. Go find them. You got how many years have I been around? 20 some years. You got that many years. Figure it out.
For real.
Better make one in the lab.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, these players are too great. They're too amazing to be
Yeah.
kowtowing to any whatever. Like, what the fuck? Like, why
And just have to take like backwards ass questions. Like
I wouldn't do that. Like, you're too great.
like one post game interview I did see, like, so they were interviewing KD and they were like, KD, did you ever expect yourself to be this good again? And KD was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you didn't even, it's like, is that a real question? Like, of course he did. Like, why should he have to answer like a stupid question like that? Like,
Saying like, I'm KD. Like, why am I here talking to you about basketball? Like, I'm KD. Like, why am I talking to you specifically about basketball? And I'm KD. Like, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense at all. And it's not like these players are not trying to put themselves out there, not trying to make themselves be heard, but they wanted to do it within their own context and not within this, puppet string kind of thing where any little thing that they say or do can be taken out of context. So yeah, I'm totally with Naomi Osaka, and I wish more players like her. I mean, unfortunately, the way that the NBA contracts work, if you don't go up to those things, then But Marshawn Lynch, you know why I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's real shit. Like, I'm too good. I'm too good to be talking to bums about what I do.
For real.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely gonna be the decade of fucking up contracts, bro. I think a lot of contracts are starting to be put into the light in terms of what they're doing, and how players are being, like, not even sports, it's like jobs too, like how people are being trapped into undesirable situations just because a bigger conglomerate is just saying we'll provide you some perks.
Well, thank God for the internet. That's because we can see what's going on with other people. Yeah. So it's like, oh, wait a minute. He got this contract? Wait a minute. Like, we going back to the drawing board.
None of that. The drawing board for sure.
Right.
I'm too good for this.
Yeah, back.
You don't want to negotiate?
You might not have known.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, I'm definitely with Naomi Osaka. I think the world is too. I don't think this is like a both sides thing. I mean, people were attempting to nitpick at the way she did it instead of like just going to the board directly. She could fuck that.
And she can do whatever she wants.
She is the best women's tennis player in the world currently. You can get the fuck up on with that. This is not a discussion. I am the one that brings the dollars in. Theoretically, if I'm Naomi, I'm the one that brings the dollars in. I am. What are you going to do about it? What did y'all hear about the French Open? Did y'all hear anything about it?
Nope. Only news I heard was about Naomi.
It's about who.
Best lesson we learned. Best lesson we learned from this. That's the best lesson we learned from them.
All I know is I ain't gonna see no Naomi Osaka highlights from the French Open. That's all I know.
I want to see it.
Find somebody better then. If it's probably
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Right.
Know your worth. Just know your worth.
Know your worth. Know yourself, man. Know yourself. Solomon, your topic.
Yo, third topic, yo. It's been we're finally getting to the point where we're getting outside, and I just wanted to kind of look back at how the dating scene has changed over COVID, if it has changed. So, during COVID, we weren't able to see each other as much. We know some of y'all out there definitely were seeing each other on the low. It's good. We're not gonna tell nobody, but I think a lot of the dating game kind of moved online specifically. It's not just the IG DMs, not just the Twitter DMs. I think the dating apps have been a big key in terms of the dating game around the world, essentially. There's, your Tinders, your Bumbles, your Hinges, the Black app, whatever, has been in full effect. I know for me personally, I know probably not for y'all, but I just wanted to see if y'all heard anything about what's up.
I said definitely not.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I was just gonna say, like, as we kind of move out into like the open, like, do you think that like online dating will have like a staying power in terms of how we interact, because it was like theoretically before COVID, I was on the dating apps maybe like once a month or every 2 months,
Yeah.
like in the winter. You know what I'm saying? When it was dry, like super dry. I was just like, damn, I'm bored. But like there's instances when it's summer, I'm outside, bro. I'm outside. I'm doing things. I'm interacting. I'm social with it.
Right.
Like, but I personally think the game is going to be changed personally, because even though people are coming outside, I think IGDMs, Twitter DMs have been a thing for a minute. But I think it was hard to actually meet those people to add them on IG or Twitter prior to, so it kind of reverted back to the dating app. I think it'll be kind of crazy to see how it changes when we go back outside. But all I know is like when I went to Miami this past weekend, and I was literally changed all the statuses just to see what's up, because that's pretty much how tapped in I've been over like the past
months. Out in Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrecked.
I did. Reckless. I don't care for my life. Like these are the places where we're at right now. Like the desperation is true.
I mean,
I cannot wait
to Miami off the app. Is that what you're telling me? You met with people?
Huh?
You met up?
No, I didn't. No. I was just. This is out of curiosity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely think that COVID like elevated the dating app game, but I already think it was already becoming a thing. It already kind of felt inevitable, because like, you know, you started off like Tinder was the first one, and then after Tinder came like 3 or 4 other ones, and now like there's I don't even know how many there are. So during COVID, like everybody or all single people resorted to, you know, these dating apps.
Everybody.
And like so now like it's kind of become like, I feel like it's becoming a standard.
Sure.
But I mean, we'll see what happens when, you know, things are fully back open, people are outside again. But I still think like the dating apps will for sure still be around. Like I don't think they're going anywhere. There's nothing that's going to stop them from, like, people already have the accounts. Like if they come home dry on a Saturday night,
they run
what you gonna do?
They run too.
What you gonna do?
Swipe.
I was never a fan of those apps. Like I guess like you saw me, where I prefer talking to people face to face. Yeah, when I was in college, I used those apps like a couple times, and I like met some girls, and they were kind of weird. So they were weird. So
that's going to happen though. It's random people out there. You don't know who you're actually going to link up with, and you have to like actually have a conversation before you get to know that they're weird. But
right,
I just thought like yeah. That's why FaceTime is very critical in the dating app game in terms of having a conversation before you meet up. Man, I mean, I thankfully I have never been casted, but it was instilled to be my roommate Gersh. But prior like to I think a couple years back, I was not FaceTiming, or essentially like I didn't actually see the girl live time, like without like a filter that's coming through on like the pictures that are being posted, because those are pretty much Instagram pictures, and they could be filtered, they could be modified. I personally don't know these things, but when you meet someone in person, it's a whole different ballgame. Seeing somebody like face to face. But yeah, for me personally, I was definitely someone who was like not on the apps. I was definitely kind of out and about trying to meet people. But like after a while, if you're in the house not doing shit, it's there for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely like entertaining at times. You know, there's times where if you're a little faded, get off a little funny text off, see what happens. Or risky text.
Those came out. I wasn't really FaceTiming, and I learned like, you know, like little things like you want to make sure that they show their teeth.
Yeah. if there's 6 photos and all of them are shoulder length and up,
Right.
you should probably figure out what's the rest of the body. You probably should.
Yeah.
The things you don't want to be rude in person because it's going to be a really awkward conversation
And
if it comes to it.
And what more kind of like speaks to the evolution of the dating app, because there was a step before dating apps. Like there was online dating, like you'd make, I don't know, eHarmony, was that one of them? Black people meet.
Yeah.
Farmers only. Like,
farmersonly.com, bro.
Yeah.
Some real shit, though.
Definitely a staple.
That was some real shit.
Yeah.
So they, like there were precursors. Yeah.
Man, killing it.
But
Like those are what you really had to worry about catfishing. Like,
but I feel like it's more for like those apps are more for socially awkward people. Like
yeah, that have hard times like talking face to face.
Yeah, to like like people who like are nervous about walking up to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that, but I feel like if you're socially awkward, wouldn't you still be awkward over text?
Yeah, maybe it's socially awkward.
Me personally,
socially insecure.
Yeah,
you need to be validated before you talk to somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
And then on like when you're texting somebody, I mean, you have more time to like kind of craft your answers or craft the conversation. Like when it's on this. What do I say? Yeah. You can text your boys. What do I say to this?
What do I say? Screenshot, send it out. Look. I got you, bro. There's a lot of forums that can help you say what you need to say out there for those who are socially insecure, I guess.
Yeah, hire a consultant.
Yeah, hire a consultant. Yeah, fuck it. There's free game out there. You can find it.
And I just don't understand like why that's so. I don't know. My advice to guys and girls is to just be the best person you can be, and then
the cliche advice: just be yourself.
No, not be yourself.
Hey,
I didn't say be yourself. I didn't say that. I did not say that.
What are you saying?
I say be the
best version.
Whatever
be the best version of yourself.
Be the best version. Yeah, whatever it is you're trying to do that to the best of your ability and everything.
Okay.
That sounds a lot like just being yourself.
I'm just saying it's really just about your intentions, I think, with people. People can pick up on that. And so if you just have good intentions or common intentions with someone else, they'll be attracted to that.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel that. That's good. That's great. I like that. Man. I was thinking about sharing a funny story, but I don't think I'm going to, bro.
What?
You can't say that.
Nah. You gotta share that. You should fuck up.
I just fucked up. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
man. Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like on the ad, like, well, I can actually bring up a story where I don't think I'm gonna bring up this last story. I'm gonna bring up a different story where I got catfished, but I was in person, and I found the value in FaceTiming then and there.
Oh yeah.
So I got wig fish essentially. So I met a girl. Yeah, no, that was tough. This was, I don't know if it was 2018. I think it was 2018.
Be very careful, Solomon, as you continue to talk.
Oh yeah, 1000%. I'm stressed. I see the ice under my feet as we speak. I'm tiptoeing.
It's shaky.
I'm tiptoeing. It is. It's shaky. It's shaky. But I was out and about. I was faded. I'm not gonna lie. I was having a blast. I met someone. We was chopping it up, having a good time. She knew how to throw it back. I was just trying to catch whatever ass was coming my way. It was a wonderful night. I'm not gonna lie. However, I get the number. I start texting her the next morning, and I'm like,
"You told me this."
Hey, da da da. This was like, trying to link, da da da. And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where are you from? And she tells me she's like an hour away. I don't want to say where, but she was an hour away. And I'm like, So where are you trying to meet? She's like, I'm down to come to you. I was going to come down that way anyway. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. She said I'm coming with a friend, and I was like, bet, say less. I'll bring Gersh with me. Fuck it. So we go to Flames in downtown San Jose. We are across the street, and when I tell you, I pretty much saw someone across the street who had a high top that looked exactly like mine. And I was like, no, it can't be. It really can't be. Like, it really can't be. I might have not noticed the night before. I might have not noticed the night before. But I was like, once she turned the right way, I was like, oh, wow, she's recognizing me. I couldn't do the same. I did not recognize her from the other night. And it could have been the alcohol inebriation. That could have been me.
Was it just?
But man, I just could huh?
Was it just her hair though? That was
yeah, but her hair was down the other day, and now it was froed up.
That was up, right? So this is why I was saying be very careful. So you stopped messing. She had ass, wasn't ugly, but she just wore a wig that day, and then obviously,
well, the thing is,
date you.
No,
her hair actually looks like, and then you were like,
yeah,
that's what turned you off. The fact that she had a high top fade rather than straight flip.
I had a high top fade. We looked the same. We literally looked the same. Like the fuck. I was not prepared. I was not prepared for that. It was something that caught me off guard. And it's something I should expect. It's something I realized.
Spider-Man. It was like Spider-Man. It was like Spider-Man.
That's really what it was. That's really what it was, bro. I was like, God damn.
Man, like.
Hey, we had a nice breakfast though. We had some mimosas. It was a cool time. I think she sent back her French toast though. For reasons I couldn't really understand. I wasn't really paying attention. I was already like my fourth mimosa down.
She was like, why am I here on this day? You're not even looking at me. You keep looking at my head.
No, I was having a blast. You have to understand, I was still having a blast. I was always still having a good time. It was never a bad time at all.
Like this.
We're vibing. It's good, bro. I was just like, however, this will be the last time we meet. It was really at that.
You told her?
And then I learned my lesson. No, absolutely not. No, I told her that tomorrow we went to. Man, I'm not that type of guy, man. I'm not that type of guy.
You should. I'm not that type of guy. The day it's been like, hey, it's really cool, but I think we should just be friends because, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. You should have said that day, but I don't know. Teach yourself.
That's actually probably what I should have done. Then I was not as mature. But today, I probably would.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't feel like I would have done the same thing if the girl was cute and had a nice body. I don't think I would have gone as far as to been like, oh, I can't mess with you because she had short hair or had a certain hairstyle.
It wasn't that at all. I don't think it was that at all. I just think I had a different perception of her. I had a different perception of her before she linked up. That was really it.
That
was really it.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these girls wear wigs.
I know that.
A lot of them
that's the show.
Significantly shorter, and if they got it wet, it would look exactly like that.
Crazy. I completely understand that, and I know that, and I have been in relationships where my girl has had a weave, but that's not really. I think it was more of the fact that I didn't know in that scenario, and I think it was just more of like the shock value at the time that kind of off-put me at the moment. That was all.
What about you, Mike? Would you dump the girl if you found out that she had a high top instead of was it ombre?
No, like dump her, like straight, like if I was like surprised, like I'd definitely be like caught off guard. Like I'd probably be in the same position as Solomon. Like, but like if that's how like it was presented like the whole time, then no.
If you were If that was how, if you saw her with the short hair the entire time, Solomon, you wouldn't have a problem. Would you even
Absolutely.
talk to her?
No problem.
Would you even talk to her if she had this short
Yeah,
hair?
absolutely. Absolutely.
It's because she wore a wig when she went out with her friends, and then wore her natural hair when she was chilling, that you had a problem.
Yeah.
But that's what.
I was like, be careful,
That is
Solomon.
not what I'm saying. You are putting this shit so crazy.
This life. Like,
Wow, that's wild.
I'm just saying, like that was
Wow.
like they all.
So the thing is, I didn't actually ever see her with her short hair at that time. And I think if she had her short hair in the club, I'm not sure if I would have spoken to her personally. But that doesn't mean I would not talk to women with short hair.
Did you talk to her between you being at the club and meeting her at the lunch, the brunch, or whatever?
Like text.
Text? So you needed a FaceTime?
Yeah.
So you needed a FaceTime.
No FaceTime. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So I did not get the FaceTime. I did not just see her chilling.
Even though she was just probably would have had it on that day. She probably would have had a scarf.
Who knows?
You still wouldn't know. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't think, because I would have understood. I'm always the type of person, like, I could point that shit out immediately. I already know if it's a wig. So I'm like, oh, she wear wigs. So I'm like,
I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really.
You wouldn't be in that situation ever?
I prefer natural hair.
You could see the trash?
Yeah, I can see the trap all the way.
Okay.
I don't even think it's a trap. I think that's just how girls feel comfortable.
The tracks, I meant. I didn't say the tracks.
Oh, okay, the tracks. Yes, I can see the tracks. But yeah, I think it's just how girls feel. Like that's how they want to present themselves. That's what makes them feel good about themselves and confident in themselves. So it ain't new. I mean, it's ancient as hell wearing wigs. So
No, it's not. It's not new at all. It's not new at all, man.
It's not. Right. It's not like I can say like I can't say like a lot of guys be like, oh, she don't really like herself or something. She got self-esteem issues. I don't even think it's that. I don't think it's that.
Mm-mm. No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all, bro. But man, now it sounds crazy. I knew I shouldn't have brought this up.
I understand the shock value of it, where you're just like, oh shit, like, but like, yeah, I mean, it's easy to get over it, like.
Yeah,
that's really easy, especially if she was cute and like had a nice body. Like I would have been like, I mean, that's just me personally though, because I prefer natural hair, so maybe.
Oh yeah, 100%, or maybe 99%.
You got 100 problems. Man.
For sure.
Nah, that was funny though.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get you up to the door.
Oh, for sure. I was about to say that was the last topic, so we should probably get up out of here.
Yeah.
Man.
I have fuck.
What's up?
Like say about dating apps, you didn't really talk this whole time.
I got nothing to say on that.
Man, Mike is a very smart dude.
Yeah, he is. I'm the dumb one here. Duh.
Man.
That's good, bro. Well, shit, this was fun. I mean, what's it called? Do you guys, I'm gonna ask, do we want to tap into our projections? Do we want to like just loop back for the fans to say for the playoffs? Where our standings are at.
My bracket's busted.
Did you type them in, Mike?
Nah, but like I think all of our brackets are already busted with the Lakers losing, and then
that's what's up.
Yeah, so you had them.
If you had the Lakers in the finals, your bracket's busted.
I didn't. But I had the Clippers Nets in finals, so like it's still possible to happen.
And who are you, Brandon? Were you Lakers Philly or Clippers Philly?
Oh, it's Clippers Philly. Clippers Philly.
Y'all both picked the Clippers. Make it to the final. Okay.
Out of the way.
I mean, it was easy one. Like, I mean, just seeing like AD coming off an injury, like, just didn't look right. Like the Lakers just didn't look like they could last throughout the whole playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I feel like Kawhi
Donovan
Mitchell.
Still lock up?
Yeah, lock up.
I can see that. I can see that.
Lock up. Just because he's not tall enough.
Mm,
And he's a little injured.
for
I
sure.
don't think he got the same bounce that he used to. He can still shoot, but I don't think he's tall enough to shoot over Kawhi.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
We'll see, because I know nobody was stopping Luca on the Clippers.
Right.
Nobody.
6'9".
I know Donovan, not Luca, but
I'm just saying Luca's 6'9".
Huh?
Like, it's not even about the skill level. It's just about the height. I still think Donovan Mitchell's hella skilled. I just don't think he's tall enough.
true. He's like 6'1". So yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
that's
like 6'1", right?
He's that short? Damn, I thought he was like 6'5" or something.
No, he's 6'1". He's like 230.
Damn.
He's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that dude's weird. Like, to be that fast at 230 at that short is just weird. That's super weird. Yeah.
Damn, so I feel like he should be a point guard, but he runs shooting guard like
He's
he's running point.
a point guard.
Donovan Mitchell.
He is the point.
Oh,
he just what's it called? Michael Conley just plays the one on defense.
Yeah.
But it's like a Harden Kyrie kind of thing, where like the two is kind of playing the one, and the one is kind of just the off-hand shooter.
Got it.
Mike Conley, he's not even playing tonight.
Hurt?
I think so.
Damn. And they had time.
So they don't even want if they had that much time and he's not playing tonight, obviously they don't want him to play. They don't want to play against the Clippers.
They found a rotation that works.
Just think of how many times that fool's gonna get posted up tonight if he's out there. Like, it'll be a problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like the Clippers should be able to get through it. I feel like they would have had a much easier time if they had Ibaka throughout the playoffs, getting through Dallas. But I think it's gonna be Clippers, probably Clippers Suns. I mean, the Nuggets
In the West, yeah.
In the West, yeah. The Nuggets, they have a decent chance, but I don't think that they have
Jamal Murray.
Yeah, well, they don't have Jamal Murray, and they don't have a good perimeter player. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Like defensively or offensively?
They don't have anyone that can create offense on the perimeter. The Nuggets.
Not Michael Porter Jr.?
No. He's too young.
Okay.
Too young. He hasn't done it enough. He when I see him play, it looks like he's in his head, like not really paying it. Like, he kind of like zones out, kind of just like trying to figure it out. And this is my eye test. Like, him just being like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Oh. Man. I think it's no debate at this point, right? The East is no debate. I was gonna ask.
I think.
Well, no, Brandon.
You think
Brandon
debate,
still has Philly.
Yeah, I got the Sixers. Still? Because Embiid is really a problem. Really, really a problem. I know KD is a problem. I understand that. I know.
And Harden and Kyrie.
Kyrie
even Blake Griffin has his bounce back.
Blake Griffin has been playing pretty well. But a lot of that is really just him being a tryhard. So I don't know, and playing around great players. I don't know. We'll see.
Like, so I mean, of course he's gonna continue that. Like, this is his best opportunity to win a championship. So like, he's gonna play to the best of his ability right now.
Blake Griffin's playing the center, right?
Is he? Yeah, probably.
He's starting at center right now. He's the kind of player against Embiid that will foul out. And then I don't know what they got after that.
DeAndre.
He hasn't been playing.
Hey, is he hurt? I don't know. Like,
but he hasn't been playing because I think the game is moving too fast. That's my opinion. I think the game is just moving too fast for DeAndre to be out there. And yeah,
I mean, DeAndre is athletic. Like, he's just like, he can keep up with the pace of the game.
Embiid is the problem though. Embiid will pump fake. Oh, you're not gonna close out. I'm gonna knock this in your face. Oh, you're closing out. 2 dribbles, I'm already at the basket. Like, I don't know. M.B. is a problem.
But his primary game is post, so he's scoring twos versus KD, Kyrie, and Harden raining down threes. Like they're not gonna be able to keep up.
Nah, Philly got shooters. Philly got shooters.
Let's start that series when the time comes to it, Brandon.
I just feel like KD is gonna start really cooking. Kyrie gonna cook. James Harden gonna cook. They're all just gonna start cooking at some point, and it's
KD is gonna be like crazy on Ben Simmons, like crazy on Ben Simmons. I don't think he's gonna be that crazy with Ben Simmons like guarding him. Like,
I mean, but Harden's gonna be crazy with whoever's guarding him. Like,
we'll see. I think personally, when Harden comes back, I don't think he's gonna come back in this series at all. But when Harden comes back in that Philly series, I think that's going to mess up the chemistry that they developed over the past 2 series.
I can see that.
I think it's going to mess him up, trying to figure out how to get Harden his touches, his looks, how he likes to play, how to figure that out with what KD and Kyrie have already established in the playoffs so far.
True, because they haven't really played together that much, right? Like no. They've been, yeah.
They just take turns going off. So, yeah, with Harden dominating who gets the ball at what time, that could be problematic.
True.
And
Harden's but Harden's he's a passing guy too. Like he's led the league in assists. So Harden can just completely switch his game to just be a playmaker if he wanted to.
He's the same kind of passer that Chris Paul is, where they will dribble the ball out and then kick it to somebody, and whoever they pass it to, the only option they have is to shoot.
Yeah, but the people he's kicking it to are KD or Kyrie, who are automatic. So it's like,
I understand, but
or Joe Harris.
Right. They're not catch. All right, Joe Harris is a catch and shoot guy, but you put somebody like the hound dog on him, like, I don't know. I'm not really worried about Joe Harris.
There's not enough people on the team to hound KD, to hound Kyrie, to hound Joe Harris, to hound.
They're not really catch and shoot players though.
KD and
KD.
I think KD more than Kyrie.
They usually KD is a little bit more than Kyrie just because just naturally him playing on the Warriors, he's had a lot more experience doing different things for a team. So yeah, KD a little bit more, but yeah, to expect Kyrie to be a catch and shoot player, I think that's going to be problematic.
Okay.
I will allow you to have your own opinion, Brandon, because that's what everybody.
Yeah, it's an opinion at this point until it happens. But
if Kyrie needs to take a dribble before he shoots, he'll have enough space. Just.
It depends.
If Harden's collapsing the defense, how I'm expecting him to do. He should have plenty of space to take.
I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to collapse his defense. I think they're going to play everybody straight up. Yeah, Philly has the amount of people, the right people to play everybody straight up.
Man, I just don't know if you can play James Harden straight up without fouling him all game.
I do not believe that.
Whoever plays James Harden straight up is going to be in foul trouble early.
Right, but then if James Harden's worrying about getting somebody in foul trouble, that takes away from taking away from KD and Kyrie.
Ben Simmons isn't even actually going to be guarding KD.
He's
guarding James Harden.
He's guarding James Harden?
Tobias Harris is going to be guarding KD.
I would put Ben Simmons on KD and Tobias Harris on James Harden.
But I just think maybe, who knows? We'll see.
I would do that. That's just me personally. I would do that because I think Ben Simmons is taller than Tobias Harris, right? Ben Simmons is 7 foot.
They're probably around the same height.
They're both at least 6.
Yeah, they probably both are. I think Ben Simmons.
They're both bigger than James Harden. So whoever it is, I would put Tobias.
They're bigger than James Harden. James Harden is a MVP. He's not going to get stopped just because somebody's taller than him.
Yeah, he's 6'11". Damn, Ben Simmons.
He's not going to be. You guys, we're talking about James Harden in the playoffs though, which we haven't seen yet. And every time I've seen James Harden in the playoffs prior to this year, he played like ass at the
But we haven't seen James Harden with Kyrie and KD in the
And
playoffs
KD.
like that.
That's
We haven't
really
seen
it.
him
The
with
change is-
2 all-star superstar teammates.
I've seen him with
it's okay.
one.
with Chris, yeah.
I mean, he was with 2 when he was OKC, but you know, he was a young guy. You know,
Yeah, like you can't even like
He wasn't really that.
he still played like shit in that series. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, James Harden is like a Paul George when it really matters, in my opinion. But
like the thing is though, like, so if that's the case, if he's choking, like then he can just defer to KD and Kyrie, who are already in their rhythm. Like that's all
that's all it is. You're 100% right, and he's not going to hold. He's not going to ball hog that. He can't. He doesn't have the luxury to ball hog on the team.
And he doesn't want to. Like that's not like
he doesn't want to. He doesn't.
I think they all like are agreeing like what they know what they want. Like they're gonna do whatever it takes to get there.
I know. I get what they're doing. It's just I don't know if it's gonna work against team basketball. I just don't know if it's gonna work against team basketball.
I mean, I hope it doesn't work. I don't want to see him win.
I
think there will be like
this shit to blow up
and celebrating total for this championship if that is the case, because everybody in New York is a Knicks fan. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Oh shit! Atlanta's winning right now.
See, 14 points was enough.
I swear, I turned my head and they were down 20, and I was like, "Oops, the game's over." And then I just turned my head back, and I was like,
Damn, Atlanta sneaks out this one. Philly might not even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
All right, relatively, I have to admit this. Relatively, I believe Trae Young is better than Steph Curry. Relatively, a better basketball.
Like at their age,
a better basketball player, not a better shooter. Obviously not a better shooter, but relatively, from what I've seen at their age, Trae Young is a far better basketball player
than Steph Curry was at the same age. What you say? Yeah.
Steph Curry was still sixth manning at this part of his career. This is year 3.
No, he was
but I
starting.
mean,
he was start. Oh, was he? This was.
Because Steph Curry's always starting.
But like, you also have to look at it as so like
rookie year.
Steph Curry came onto the team with Monte Ellis still being the star. Like Trae Young just straight up came up, and he was like there was no star on the team, so he was able to take over sooner. Like as soon as Monte Ellis left, that's when Steph started to like get noticed. Like same idea.
Yeah.
I don't even think he started getting noticed until like that 2012, 2013 season.
That's the season after they got rid of Monte, though.
Yeah, the season after that, yeah.
Yeah, the season right after
they were the sixth seed. They beat the was it that year? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was that year. We beat the Nuggets.
I thought we beat the Nuggets in 2013, 2014 because we won in
2013, 2014. We lost to the Clippers in the first round in 7 after Chris Powell fouled Steph on the final.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the year prior we beat the Nuggets, and then Andre Iguodala was like, "Yo, I want to join that team." And we took 2 games off the Spurs, I think, or 1 game. I think we took 2 games off the Spurs. That was the year they went to the finals, and Ray Allen hit the shot.
The shot. Yeah.
And that was that year.
Probably was.
So that was a really good Spurs team. And Steph was
good. Yes, it was.
But I think that was like so he got drafted in 2009. So that was his 4th year in the league, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2000, yeah, probably.
2013, yeah, it was like, I guess his 3rd or 4th year in the league. This is what, Trae Young's 3rd year in the league?
3rd.
Yeah, around there. So I mean, they probably like are equaling out a bit.
They're equaling out a bit, but yeah.
They're going to. Like Trae Young just had the better start. We could easily say that. Steph had glass ankles for the 4 years. Trae
Young doesn't have any other All-Stars on the team with him. Like Steph Curry had David Lee, who was an All-Star at that time. Klay Thompson, we all know who Klay Thompson is. And they had Draymond, I mean, Draymond wasn't the best. He was a lot younger. You know, he could do a lot more physically than he can now. So I feel like Trae Young's doing a lot more with a lot less. Just
Right now, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, right now at this age.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't he doesn't get as flustered. Like even now, like Steph just like will like get flustered, especially when they start double teaming him. He doesn't know who to pass to or what to do.
Well, who's he gonna pass to?
Man, that's another thing. But I think that's mostly coaching. That's why
Trae Young actually has shooters to pass to, regardless of they're not all stars, but he actually has shooters.
They are shooters though. You're right. He do got actual shooters. Bogdanovich is
actual shooters. Bogdanovich,
Gallinari,
Herder,
real shooter.
Herder is a shooter too.
Yeah, Herder leading scorer in the game right now, besides Embiid.
And then you got Lemon Pepper Lou.
Yo, that white boy Herder that last game.
Yeah,
he was hooping.
Yeah,
like something.
That's
like,
what happens.
Just like smart IQ plays, just like making the right thing, just so they wouldn't get the turnover. Oh man, I was like, this dude, actually play him and Bogdanovich.
See, I guess, and then Ben Simmons' stats right now 4, 3, and 7. Like that's not going to work against the Nets. Like he's got to do better.
Hey, go ahead. Brandon, this is Rondo argument part 2. Go ahead. Sometimes more impactful than 28 and 10.
So
28 and 10.
Who's guarding Ben Simmons?
Because
right, who's guarding
Ben Simmons?
Yeah, I don't. Damn, 4 points, really?
Bro, who is guarding Ben Simmons, bro?
I mean,
tell me.
So who cares? Like, I mean,
Anybody.
Look at these. Bogdanovich?
It don't matter.
Maybe Thaddeus Young?
Damn.
No, Thaddeus.
Not Thad Young. Thad Young got to guard something bigger than that. Thad Young is probably. He probably guarded
Solomon Hill.
Embiid.
Maybe Solomon Hill.
No, it's probably Solomon Hill. Solomon Hill is probably guarding Ben Simmons.
Damn.
Didn't even make Miami Heat rotation.
Like Ben Simmons is stoppable in the same way that Giannis is stoppable. You just fucking back off of him, let him shoot. Like,
but
this is the dude that missed like 16 free throws.
You're right, but Ben Simmons isn't the best player on the team.
True.
That's the difference.
But I mean, he needs to be the second best player on the team, or else like they ain't.
4 points. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But regardless, yeah.
He also has the most.
It's about to be. It's about to be the fourth. It's about to be the fourth quarter, y'all. I'm probably gonna try to watch this.
I feel it. Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Yo, thanks again for tuning in with us, to all of our audience members. Yeah, we'll try to get back at it again next week. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, M.B.S. podcast, or Mostly Bullshitting podcast, and then our Twitter page. Follow our Twitter page, mbs.podcast. And we should also drop our own ads, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm at Chuck.Steezy.
I'm at Mikey Mike 3.
Yeah, and
I'm at _Nomalos. It's my name backwards.
For sure. Does anyone else have anything else they want to plug before we did?
Good.
Man,
please. No.
I don't really think I do it this time. I'll be more prepared next week for that.
For sure. And as always, tap in, get out, tap in.shop, the online marketplace for Black-owned businesses. But all right, we out. Peace.
Peace.
All right, so peace.